I got loving on the rainbow. I got sunshine all the time. I got loving in my raindrop.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Standing Room Only. We have a special guest tonight. We're not doing a panel show tonight. Usually we do like 7 comics on the show, but tonight we're just doing one-on-one interview with one of my favorite comics in the world. Mystina's not going to be here. She has practice with Cult Jam, so she's not going to be interviewing our guest tonight. But you have me, the other half of Standing Room Only. I'm going to hold it down for Mystina. That's what I do. Hold it down. So if it's watching on YouTube, Facebook page, my personal page, comment down low in the comments section, and I will read the questions in between the show. So my guest tonight, I'm so excited to have her, man. She is amazing, amazing person. She's a nationally touring comedian, host of Politically Non-Binary podcast, one of Louis C.K.'s openers, finals. It's the funniest person in Austin twice in a row, twice in a row. She's been on Moontower podcast, Moontower Festival, Skankfest, Limestone, Laughing Skull, and many more. Man, I love this person a lot, man. The one, the only, Arielle Isaac Norman. What up, my friend? What's
How's
happening?
it going? How's it going?
What's going on, my friend? I love it. Thanks for doing this podcast on this cold day.
Yeah, it got cold very suddenly. And my girlfriend just left to the Congo, so now I'm alone.
To the Congo? What's happening in the Congo?
She's an interpreter, so she's doing Chinese English interpretation there. But yeah, she doesn't she's not gonna get to go to local restaurants or anything. It's too dangerous. She has Secret Service and stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
So you work for the government?
Yeah, it's government contract stuff. I don't know if they're technically Secret Service, but it's Secret Service security team that just takes her and the team everywhere. So yeah.
Oh wow. And she just goes interviewing people from locals trying to get information and stuff?
No. They have some kind of conference that they're doing. And so she's translating between the Chinese and English people. You know how the Chinese have all kinds of mines and stuff in the Congo, and
yeah.
They're probably auditing them or something for, nefarious business practices, stuff like that.
Jesus. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. When I think about the Congo, I just think about that movie Congo with the gorillas. That's all.
I didn't see that. I just think about the cobalt mines and the horrible conditions.
Yeah, because that's where they get the cell phone stuff, right? That's
the cell phone, electrical car stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what else about the Congo? They have the biggest dicks in the world there. So
what?
Biggest dicks in the world.
The biggest penis in the world is in the Congo.
It's not. I'm on average, the average dick size in the Congo is the biggest average dick size of all countries. I know a lot about.
How do you know? How do you know this? Is
I've
this something
looked
that's
up
just
a
a fun fact? How do you know about that?
I've looked up a lot about penis sizes over the years in my research.
Oh my god! What's up, Sharita? How you doing? Sharita's she's a phenomenal comedian from El Paso. What's up, Sharita?
Oh, cool. I'm going to be in El Paso on the 8th, November 8th, actually.
Oh yeah, where you performing at?
Somewhere called Craft and Social, headlining a show there.
Craft and Social. So yeah, you got to do every time I do El Paso, I do the comic strip.
Oh, okay.
I usually do that with Bart Reed. Oh, cool. She's hosted it. She said, I'm hosting the show.
There you go. Pleasure to meet you.
What a way of meeting your opener, right? Hey, I'm on the show that she's talking about. Isn't that wild?
Small world.
It blows my mind with comedy how people could just connect off of just the internet. It's so crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, back to you Googling penises. You just so you've been doing it for years, you said?
Oh yeah, I keep up. Well, I don't know. I've looked it up for a lot of things. I think it's really funny because it's taboo to have anything be racial at all. And so, the idea of Asian penises are smaller, Black penises are bigger. We're not supposed to talk about that. It's not supposed to be true, right? But it is true that different, ethnic backgrounds have differently sized penises on average. And so, it really goes people of African origin have the biggest, then Middle Eastern, then European heritage, and then Hispanic type, all that kind of stuff. And then Asian have the smallest penises. I remember at one point I was writing a joke about that, ducks, their penises fall off every year. and then they grow new penises back.
What?
And yeah, and then but their penis size depends on the ducks around them. So they wind up growing penises like closer to the size of the surrounding duck penises. So I was like, wouldn't that be funny if that happened in humans, and then, you know, every spring everyone left Asia and went to Africa or whatever, you know, there'd be penis sized tourism.
We already got the comment section blown up already. Hi, Victoria. What's up, girl? What's up, Derek? What's up, everyone? Victoria says, I jumped in at a good time. Laugh out. And
That's
Jenny,
where we started.
right, a comedian. She said, don't ducks have twisty penises?
Yeah.
Okay. They do.
So this is something else I do know about, because ducks are infamous rapists. And so a lot of people know about their corkscrew penises. And so ducks have these corkscrew penises, and then duck chicks have corkscrew vaginas. So they've evolved, both the males and the females have evolved increasingly intricate penises to try to get in there. Then with the women's vaginas keep evolving to be harder to get into because they're always getting raped. And so, but everybody imagines a corkscrew like our corkscrews, but they're really actually these like kind of gloopy, spindly kind of penises. So it's more like just kind of like they kind of like shoot out a gummy little, you know, those things that you would hit on the wall that had the hands that would stick. It's kind of more like that kind of consistency.
Now you got me about to pull up like duck penises right now on the screen, because I don't think America has seen this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think people have the wrong idea about duck penises. It's a very different kind of sexual assault. You know, you still don't want to have someone's babies that you don't, but it's like they're just kind of trying to like fart their weird little creepy penises into you.
Is that it right there? Is it the duck penis right there?
Yeah. You see?
Wow.
So it's not hard. You know, it's not.
It looks
hard.
like a worm.
Yeah, it's very worm-like. Mm-hmm.
Holy cow! I did not know that was actually a thing. And they're rapists? Oh god.
Yeah, they're infamous rapists.
That explains why their meat is so greasy.
Is that how you can tell?
Yeah.
Eels must be.
Greasy, because duck meat is so greasy, it's so wild taste to it. So it kind of makes sense. Like, oh my god.
Duck eggs are so good though.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
So why don't they sell duck eggs at stores? Is that an American way of controlling the egg population? I mean, what?
Well, it's not that they don't. I think probably you can get them some places. I think it's just easier to factory farm chickens. And I think chickens also probably have more eggs than ducks. I don't know. My most recent ex-wife was a farmer, and so she worked at a place where she got them to start having ducks as well as chickens. So we were always getting to eat duck eggs, and that was awesome. But it is really hard to find them. But more people should sell them. It is crazy, because if she could have some, then why can't more? I mean, you can get them at restaurants sometimes, but you never see them in the store. It's true.
Yeah, because I've got duck meat, like in fancy restaurant, but they never sell. Hey, we have duck scrambled eggs. You know, they don't have that option. You know. Well,
it'd be sad to scramble them. You really got to have them over easy, but. Or because back when I had that farmer wife, we would make chocolate chip cookies and use duck eggs. And like everything we would do, we would use duck eggs. And it's just, they're so rich. It's
what
so
does it
good.
taste like? Like now, I mean.
Okay, you know the difference between like a shitty egg, just like the cheapest ones that you can get at HEB or whatever, versus like grass-fed, pasture, you know, like free range, like really good chicken eggs. Do you know what I mean? Like if you have the difference between really good eggs versus really shitty eggs, I would say that difference again and a half from really good chicken eggs to just whatever, you know, just the ducks were eating a fine diet at the farm, but it wasn't like they were all like pure grass or anything. But yeah, so they're just richer.
It looks like, because I'm looking up the pictures right here, it looks pretty delicious looking.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, great for deviled duck eggs, egg salad sandwiches. I miss my duck wife.
So hold up, what was it there in Austin or Houston that you were married at the time?
Austin. The first time I was married was in Boston, and then the second time was in Austin.
Oh, you've been married how many times?
Just twice.
Just twice?
Mhm.
Wow. You are a comic.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that crazy now because I'm 37, but I was married and divorced twice by the age of 31. So I've actually been taking it easy on getting married for a while now.
Yeah. I think you probably have to, because I think after the third one, I think you get like a free coupon at Luby's or something. I think that.
Yeah, something. Yeah, this time I definitely am gonna make sure that this one's very solid, and it's been quite a while since I got married last time, so that my relatives and stuff take it seriously and whatnot.
Because they can't be going to all these weddings and be like, all right, she's about to divorce her in a
Right.
couple of months. So
But third time's a charm. And
that's
also,
what they say. That's what
both
they say.
of my weddings have been a blast. They've been so fun.
Good.
They've been
I don't-
good times.
I don't know if you agree with me on this, but this is my theory. I feel I've never been married before, right? But I
Mhm.
feel like if I do get married, if I'm going to do a big wedding, then when I do get a divorce, all that same people, unless they're dead, they have to show up to my divorce hearing. They can't
Okay.
They have to show up and wear the same outfit like they wore to my wedding, so I can recognize, so I can remember who they were. Like, oh, dude, I remember you.
I would say, how about instead? I don't know about the divorce hearing. No one's going to do that, but have a divorce party. You know,
See, even better. Have a divorce party. We all wear the same exact outfit, obviously. And
but you got to throw the party, but they still have to give you gifts because that's how it is.
no, they have to
Yeah.
bring the gift. They have to
Yeah.
bring the gift. That's a
You need
must.
a gift more at a divorce these days than you do at a wedding.
Right. And we walk it in. Everybody's walking in backwards, like reverse, you know. So we're
Mhm.
just trying to undo what happened. So
you
everybody's
go.
walking into the wedding backwards and sitting in the chair backwards, just
And
the
then
same way.
You and your wife, your
Yeah,
wives go,
the
do
same
I?
way.
Do I?
Everything's backwards.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to undo the shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to undo that.
Yeah. Well, I hope neither of us ever have to get another divorce.
I don't know if I want to get married though, Ariel. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to get married. I know too many people that got divorced, and I've known a couple of good marriages, and it's rough, man.
I don't know if men and women should marry each other.
Why not?
Well, it just seems like a lot of times y'all don't really like each other that much. Maybe the men should just live with each other and play their video games, and the women should live with each other. And then y'all can visit each other and fuck and whatever. But I don't know if y'all like each other enough to really. No, I
So
mean,
basically like a court, like a college dorm room type of thing. Like you just be your dorm room, you're being that dorm room. You guys do what you do. They just have sex every now and then, but go back to your dorm room.
Exactly. Groups of friends can live together. Now, I mean, some people have kids and they want to raise them together, but even then, I think sometimes it would make more sense for a group of women to raise a kid or two amongst themselves. And then sometimes men visit, do chores, bounce the kids on the trampoline harder, bring money, fuck you, leave. A lot of people would be happier with this. Maybe not everyone needs to do that, but I think some people who are heterosexual and who are just doing that because it's a script, I think some of those people would be happier rethinking that and just being like, we don't have to get married. Like, we can each have our own place, whether you want roommates or not, ultimately. But like, just have your own place.
That makes sense. I think that's not a bad logic.
Men are snoring. It's like a lot of women. The bed's not comfortable. A lot of married couples wind up sleeping in different beds or different rooms of the house anyway. So it's like maybe it's something where, like in the winter, when you want the warm body of the man, if the warm body's worth the snoring, you do it for a few months of the year. But then in the summer, it's like, get the fuck out of my bed.
Yeah. That's why. That's what I'm about a girlfriend right this. This is the time right now that I need a girlfriend. It's kind of cold. I need some warm body to keep me warm. But summertime, right? I need my freedom.
Exactly. Seasonal cohabiting.
I need a seasonal relationship. My God.
People can be gender fluid. You can be relationship fluid. There's all kinds of options.
That's funny. So my friend Victoria says, "Yep, we don't sleep in the same room either. Best thing ever." Wow, really, Victoria?
Because men be snoring. It's bad.
And Ruby said, "Y'all started early." Yes, we started early because we do. We have a special guest, Ruby, because we can't start at 8:00 like we used to. Arielle got to do stuff. She's busy, She got stuff she got to do. So I said, "Let's do it at 6." And now here we have it.
Sweet.
You might be if you thought about being like a love guru, because you dropping some gems for free right now.
Oh yeah, how do I get into that business? Yeah, I'd love to be a love guru.
Safe doing everything in America.
Send me some clients.
I'm saying safe doing in America. Just have a podcast and talk about it. That's pretty much everything. There's a podcast for everything now. So
that's true.
Why not have a podcast being a love guru?
All right. Well, I got to get people to call in and stuff with their little questions.
They can call in.
Call or write in. Yeah, fuck Dan Savage. I could get better advice than him.
I don't even know who that is. Dan Savage?
Dan Savage. He has a Savage Lovecast. He's a gay guy who,
Dan Savage.
He has some good opinions, but I don't know. I feel like we've all already heard enough from him.
What he's like recycling. Is this him right here?
Yeah. He's like sex positive and kind of anything goes positive, but he does draw the line at some of the kind of the like most obnoxious woke queer bullshit. So like I do like him, but he bores me. The people he just spends there's so much time doing all the caveats and disclaimers of course this and that, and I would never kink shame anyone, and all that kind of tone, and like I will kink shame some people. Some people need to be shamed.
Yeah, I don't get the whole don't kink shame people. Like if they're doing something ridiculous, I'm gonna make fun of it. I'm a comedian. I can't turn that off and go, I have to worry about their feelings. I have to say something, right? That's just how it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't get people are so sensitive now, it's crazy. I don't understand this whole sensitivity stuff. It's like some stuff absolutely should be sensitive about. Absolutely. Yeah. But everything, I don't subscribe to that. That to me, you can't do that. That's not cool. That's not fun no more if you do that.
The pendulum was way far on one side, on the shaming side. Now some people want to put it way too far on the other side. If anything goes and nothing means you had a bad childhood or something. And I'm like, nah, some of these things, like if you're into the poop stuff, I'm like, we might want to look at what happened there. We might not want to just go, that's okay. Just try not to get diseases. Like we might want to say, did you do something bad? Are you trying to pay for your sins? Because do you remember LaShonda Lester? Did you know her?
Who was that?
She's a comedian in Austin. She sadly died a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
You remember?
Yeah. She was so funny. Yeah.
She was so funny, and she had stories from when she was doing phone sex. And she said all the men who wanted her to describe taking a shit in their mouths and like would beg her to come over and actually do it. She never did that shit, but like the ones who would beg her to come over and do it, she's like, to a man, every single one of them was like some kind of white collar criminal, or even if not technically a criminal, someone who knew that, they made their living off of basically just skimming money from other people and just the kind of, American economy bullshit that helps no one and just lines your pockets and all that. And so it was like just people they were bad people, right. And so it seemed like they were trying to disperse their guilt from that with this kind of like, I deserve for a big black woman to squat over my mouth and shit into my, like it kind of, that's the vibe. So I'd always kind of suspected something like that. Once I heard her like talk about that, I was like, yeah, that checks out to me. These poop sex people, I'm gonna go ahead and judge the shit out of them.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you want a grown ass person to shit in your mouth, you definitely have a lot of problems.
Plus, it's always like the Germans and the Japanese. It's like the bad guys from World War II were the ones who were into that. Like there's something going on.
They were into that. The Germans were into people shitting their mouth.
That's who has the craziest, like kinkiest shit, and especially when it gets into the poop stuff and like really far out there stuff is Germans and Japanese. They're like famous for it. And so you're like, yeah, I don't know. There's something dark behind the impulse.
Yeah,
poop sex.
I kind of like. Do you remember that? This was like the beginning of the whole viral thing. You remember the two girls in the cup? You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. These women are like grandmas now because I kind of Googled them. One of them has like grandkids now.
I tried to do a deep dive on whether it was really poop the other day. Actually, this came up.
Yeah, after I Googled penises, I went to deep dive.
I'm trying to remember. I think my girlfriend didn't actually know what 2 Girls 1 Cup was because she was raised like half in China. And so there's always stuff that she doesn't know that I get to show her. I get to be the first to show her. And so So it just led us to this rabbit hole of like, wait, was it really poop or not? But there's not a consensus on whether it was poop. I can't remember if it came. I think ultimately it probably was really poop is what they were coming on.
From what I saw, it looked like actually poop.
It did look like
fake.
it.
It looks smelly because I could tell by the screen, by what I was, it was steaming.
Yeah, well, by the time that one happened, I think there'd been enough shit on the internet where my friends had already been like, oh, go to whatever.com and look at that. And so I knew when they said 2 girls, 1 cup, I was like, I can tell I don't want to see whatever this is. So I let them do it, but I was like looking through, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, and like for a couple seconds, I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen a few seconds here and there of it. I can't, I have such a strong gag reflex. I just can't with poop stuff. I can't.
I had to watch it for research purposes, because I just knew years down the line, we talked to a comedian about it on my podcast.
Yeah.
2 girls.
I feel like I've seen enough to be culturally literate. It was important to me to be aware, but I didn't need to stare. And I watched, reaction videos. It was fun to watch the reaction videos.
The reaction videos are fun.
Yeah.
Is it on YouTube, the reaction videos?
I'm sure they still are. I mean, this was back in the kind of like eBombs World, Rotten.com days, when we were all doing the original viral stuff where it was all word of mouth.
Right. I miss those days. I really do.
Too.
I just miss like when something was only one thing that was viral and everybody talked about it for at least a month. Now everything's so viral. Can it even be viral if everybody watches it? It's not even viral because it's like there's something going viral like every 10 seconds now. So
that's a crazy thing. That's why I just don't really get on TikTok much. I mean, you can follow me at Arielle Isaac Norman. I post some stand up there, but because whenever I would see people just like giggling their heads off about TikTok, and I'd be like, okay, show me what is this that you like so much, and they show you, and you're just like, this, what? And it's because it's referencing like 8 things deep, something that did go viral that day on TikTok, and then a bunch of people kept making response things to it and using it, and so you just like the virality is so layered and changes so quickly that it's just not. You and I are just too old. We like things to be a little slower. We want to digest things.
It's like I become like my dad. I become like that old man on that hill.
Kids these days.
Kids. Sometimes to catch myself not to sound too old. Like back in my days, because I know I want to say it, but it's like, but when I say it, I go, ugh. I used to make fun of people for saying it, but now I'm going, back in my days, we had this.
Yeah, well, because what we sound like is like back in my day, when 2 girls shat in a cup and ate it, we all talked about it for weeks. It was a thing in the culture for a long time, and everyone shared that. You know what I mean?
Talked about it. They talked about it at the locker room, at the break room, at work. Did you watch that 2 girls? That was crazy, right?
Now, 2 girls, 1 cup, if that happens today, it would be like 2 days where it was a thing and then gone again.
I don't even think nobody would care. I don't think everybody would be like, oh, I've seen that. I've seen way like that. It's like now we're just so jaded in society. I don't think that would even be a big deal.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff going through the reels and shorts and TikTok. There's so much crazy stuff. I don't know where these people posted all these videos. But that's all I do reaction videos now. So I be seeing all these stuff and I'm like, it's so many of it now, it doesn't even matter. I think we went to like the crazy side. We've gone to the other side of crazy now.
Yeah, well, it's funny because like today, the one thing that I saw on TikTok was when I went to post a video, the one thing that came up was Heather Shaw doing a stitch of a video that was this straight couple who talked about a love surge. Whenever they get a love surge, what it is whenever one of them is feeling so much love that they just get all these jitters, and then they go and so you see this guy in the background with a smile on his face, just like shaking. He's like, ah. And then he just like hugs her. They go, and he's like, it's a surge. It's the gayest shit I've ever seen. I mean, it was so uncomfortable. But I'm like, I think they know they're just being the faggotiest people in the world. Like, I don't think it's genuine. There's no way they're like, I think they are just doing this because they know it'll get viral. They know everyone will stitch it.
Of course.
But they do. They have, millions of things and followers and whatever. And I'm just like, there's no way I think most of what I see on TikTok is just people making fun of whatever they're seeing. And there's just enough people who are willing to be viral and famous for being made fun of they don't care that every single comment is people going, what is wrong with you? Like they're just fine with it, and they probably get money.
Yeah,
I think they get paid for these things. So it's like,
I hope they do, because I know they get monetized for getting a lot of views. So,
yeah.
I mean,
So that's the thing. If you can do something heinous like that, you know, and it's like the poop won't do it anymore. Yeah, you have to do something so cringy. Like poop isn't cringy enough. You got to do a love surge. But you got to see it. It's so funny, but it's so bad. Really, like someone commented something like, I wish I was still the person I was 10 seconds ago before seeing this. And I'm like, yeah.
I can't take back 10 seconds of my
life. It
life.
felt similar to the 2 girls, 1 cup thing. It felt similarly like disgusting.
Right. I think my favorite was when people do the dance challenge. They do like different dances to songs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the new one's that one that it's like they dance in normal, then they start dancing in the dark with the lights in their hands. Have you saw that one?
Uh-uh.
Oh yeah, it's pretty rad. Like people they play the beat. It's really slow.
Yeah.
Next thing they turn the lights on, they dance with flashlight. And it's just crazy. And that's the trend right now. It's a new dance craze right now, and everybody's doing it.
Are they dancing like weirdly or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Someone just invited me to an event here in Austin where I guess everyone puts on. You've heard of like silent disco, right? Where everyone, I guess they're listening to their own music. Yeah. I don't know if they're all listening to different music. So this is one where everyone is blindfolded, and then everyone dances, blindfolded. But then there's also some kind of cacao ceremony beforehand, and then he mentioned something about cuddling, and I was like, well, I don't know what's going on. So, and he said sometimes they do naked ones. I'm like, well, that's so forget whatever's going on TikTok. There are grown adults in Austin getting naked, blindfolding themselves, dancing like seriously, no one can see them, and then touching each other. I'm like, how low do your standards have to be of who's touching your body, clothed or unclothed?
So is this like it's like an after hour spot, or like?
I think it was happening at 8 p.m. that day.
Huh.
Because I was inviting him to a comedy show, and he's like, can't, I'm going to this.
He's like, nope, I want to touch with naked people. Jokes.
Well, because he's like poly and stuff, and like, I get it.
There you go.
If you're a 5, it makes sense to go to these because everybody there is going to be like a 3 to a 6, 3 to a 5, really. You know what I mean? 3 to 5 people. That's who is poly most of the time, because it's like, who cares? Because their standards are going to be right there.
It's like the poly people are the ones that you don't want to have sex with anyway in the first place.
Yeah, that's why I'm out. I'm out.
I thought I was the only crazy person that thought that, because I've been to a couple of poly meetings at bars, and I'm looking at them going, you guys were unfuckable anyway, so it makes sense. I guess it's driven by numbers. I guess if you just
it's kind of like this is back in middle school when the first chicks started calling themselves bi, and it was always like the fat chick, where you're like, you're just trying to help your odds. Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm glad you said it, because I didn't want to say it. I didn't want nobody coming to the
I shouldn't say it either.
Fat shaming somebody. I didn't want to say it.
You're fat and I'm not, so you shouldn't be the one to say it. But no, it sucks because I was poly for 5 years. I was identifying that way and doing the whole thing. But like, there's very few hot people identify. I think like hot poly people just don't really talk about it. They just have sex part, do whatever.
They don't have to go to a social gathering.
Yeah, so the social gatherings were like never it. It's really just kind of like a thing of like sometimes hot people need to have rules.
Right.
Hot friends need to have rules about it. Whatever, like that could be. But I don't know. I really, like, in all sincerity, I also realized that I was using the polyamory, but even before that, like just dating as a way to make friends. Like a lot of times, like, I think I just really wanted to make friends, but I would just leave the dating thing because people would be attracted to me. And so I would be like, oh, okay, well, that would get them more invested in me. And I think I had a self-esteem issue where it was like, I just wanted people to be more invested in me. And so I'm like, oh, do you want to kiss me or whatever? Sure. I wasn't even necessarily, a lot of times, like, yeah, it's like I would hang out with a woman and she would express that she was bi, but always too shy to hit on women. And she just wanted women to hit on her. Like, and I could tell it was like, it was always so obvious they wanted me to kiss them and whatever. So I just like felt rude not to, and I was just like, why not? Like I don't find you repulsive. Like I'll make out with you, you know. And so now I'm just like, this is stupid because now that doesn't help you make friends because then you don't want to date them or you know, whatever. And now they get hurt. So I'm like, all right, I gotta stop this poly thing and just pursue actual friendship.
The whole theory of the thesis of the polyamorous state, it just seems like somebody's going to get hurt, you know?
Yeah.
There's no way you could just balance equal love to equal individuals. I think that somebody's going to get some kind of want more because human DNA is we want more. We're selfish people by nature. So it'd be hard to go, all right, I've got to hang out with so person tonight and you have to wait your turn tomorrow. And the person, no, I want to see you tonight. You know, it just builds resentment.
Some people do hierarchical polyamory with like really clear boundaries. Some people do where they're like solo poly, so they just don't get into a relationship, but just and which sometimes that just basically means you're like dating, you know, dating around and just not in a relationship. But to me, like my real interest, like I do like the freedom to like kind of flirt with people and stuff. Like especially like some people, it's like if you're on the road, then like, okay, well, when you're on the road, you can hook up with people. Like that kind of arrangement can work for some people. But for me, like I mostly just wanted threesomes. Like it's like if you could find a good threesome situation, like I care about that. Because like the one time that I had a really good threesome trio, we had a few threesomes, but was this time where the other two women were both had long, dark, curly hair and were 5'9". So they like had like a lot of similarities.
Right.
And then me and one of the women, both of our names were Arielle, spelled the same way I spell my name. And she and I had very similar eyes. And so we had this kind of like, and then I was in a relationship with the other girl. So we had a very nice, like even keeled dynamic where we had a lot of twin stuff going on between different combinations. And like, that was a situation where like no one felt jealousy at all. It was just super hot. And it was really cool because I could like, when you're having sex with your partner, like when they're coming, you're usually busy because you're making them come, you know, so you can't fully always enjoy it unless they're just like using a vibrator or something like that, you know? Or when they're making you come, like they're busy. Like, so it's nice to have someone else there where you can kind of like watch through them. And also it's just like, as kind of a dude in a chick's body here, I'm just watching two gorgeous women who look a lot alike make each other come and kiss, you know, like
sound like you had that was like awesome life right there. And you stopped doing that? You just got tired of the polyamorous life?
Well, you know, I just kind of realized there were a lot of unhealthy dynamics to what I was pursuing there, and that I really do want to value and pursue friendship more without like the dating stuff being like clouding that and getting in the way of the cleanness of it. You know, having boundaries can really help make good friendships. And I think, you know, maybe in the future we could get back to the threesome thing. My girlfriend has pretty particular tastes and so do I. So there's a kind of unicorn situation that would work for both of us. And so I think after she and I have been together for a few years, we'll probably, because we're both kinky, we want to go to like kink events and stuff together. So once we can we also might start, we might start some kink events in Austin, some like lesbian only kink events for hot people only. It'll be like a word of mouth, you know, you have to invite only. Because we've been to some of these events and we're just like, nope. You know, you can go to those events and maybe find one or two people that you'd be like, hey, here's, you know, let me get your number. I'll invite you to another party. But yeah, that's the thing. So it's like, we could be like doing kink stuff together, you know, maybe some threesomes if we can find the right people. Like I'm interested in that. But otherwise, the polyamory just made everything too complicated. Yeah, it's hard to actually build friendships when there is sex involved.
Yeah, it's just when I think about polyamorous, I just think about going to like a shitty buffet restaurant. just so much stuff just happening, you know, just messy food and just sloppy and just everything, like flies flying around the food. It looks not appealing to me at all. It's not. If I'm gonna have, I've never had a threesome before.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna have a threesome, I have to just basically do my own recruiting outside the whole polyamorous world. Just
not from the poly world. You just find cool people, right?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would make an announcement about it. Go, hey, I'm at this bar here. Come meet up for polyamorous meeting.
No. You just like this is someone who was a friend of a friend who had like been interested in me for a while, and finally I was like, all right, like let's meet up. And then we met, and actually I really liked her. And then I was like, hey, my girlfriend and I are going to this party later. Like, do you want to come? I just texted my girlfriend like, hey, is it cool? I like her actually. Should I invite her to the party? So then we're all at the party together. So then they liked each other and they started making out. And you know what I mean? So it's like this is an organic kind of situation that we set up for ourselves.
I dig it.
Yeah.
So are you a ghost star lesbian?
Yes. Unless you count the trans dude.
Say what now?
Unless you count the trans dude that I dated for a few months once.
Oh, you dated a trans dude? How'd that go?
It was fun. I had just gotten out of that second marriage and was dating around and stuff and newly being polyamorous and just kind of being like, I want to explore my sexuality and this poly thing. And he was a performer too. He is a dancer. He's like a boylesque drag king type. Nice. Yeah. When he was a chick, he was a stripper. And now he's, just kind of transferred his skills.
It's not really a big change.
It's not too different. But I think he has more self-respect as a man than as a chick stripper. So good whatever works for him. Yeah. Well, that was a really fun time. And I got to explore a lot of gender stuff with that. I had just been dating a gender therapist for a minute before that. And like, she had called me a good boy and I really liked that. And that's where I got that, part of my bit that I do now. And so even though he saw me on stage, called myself a lesbian and everything, but then he started hitting on me, and I thought like, oh, it's one of the little boy lesbians. I've always meant to date one of the little boy lesbians, but it never kind of felt right. Like whenever we would dance at the club, it would just kind of like, I'd be like, what's supposed to happen here though between us? So I would just kind of drop it. But so then here was one who was hitting on me, and I was poly anyway, and open to whatever. And so I said something about him being like Mask of Center, and he was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, like you like Mask of Center. He's like, "Well, I'm a guy. I'm a trans guy." And I was like, "Oh, all right, bet let's fine do that." But then he wanted to think of him. He thought of himself as a gay boy, and so he was like, "I don't care what you say you are. Like you're obviously some type of dude." And I'm like, all right, yeah, that's sure. That's true enough. Let's do gay boy stuff. So, it was fun. It was fun. I got very into the whole.
So I had to say, yeah, but like, who's your daddy? It's your daddy.
Yeah. I mean, now in my relationship now, I'm my girlfriend's daddy. So that's not even different. Yeah. There's always the daddy, lesbians do daddy stuff.
That's what I'm saying, because I feel like with the obviously the traditional lesbians, they have the boy lesbian and the girly lesbian, right?
I think that's God's plan. Yeah. It's a little weird when you see the two masked ones together. Very rare that you see the two.
Yeah, it is confusing, right? It's like
every now and then you see two where they're both have that. Like the faux hawk and the tank top, the wife beater. Yeah, they're both wearing cargo shorts with the weirdly big ass that the dykey ones have sometimes. And you're like, why are those friends holding hands? Huh. Oh, they're together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's confused. Like if you go do it, why would you just go be with actual woman, right? It's just confusing. It just is.
Yeah, I don't know if they just settle because they're friends. Like that's where I become like, that's gay. Like
that's where you draw the line.
It's supposed to be a mask and a femme together. Like wherever you're at on the spectrum, doesn't matter if you have a penis or vagina or whatever, like it should be kind of everyone's on a gender spectrum, let's say from 1 to 7. And then like 1s and 7s should date, 2s and 6s should date, 3s and 5s should date. And then those 4s, it's fine if there's a 4s to date, but then they shouldn't be too mask or femme. It's like the medium hair ones who are both kind of like just farmers or something. Like my most recent ex-wife is a medium hair, and her new girlfriend is also like a medium hair. Like they're just both kind of medium together. Like that feels right. But you don't want two butches or two femmes together,
Yeah,
no matter what the genitals.
That's kind of, I don't know. Yeah, it is kind of weird because I'm friends with a lot of lesbians, and the ones that I'm friends with, they're all the feminine and the butch ones. They're the difference, you know.
In the black community, in the black lesbian world, it's like always that way.
That
it's
is
like
the
studs.
black community.
And
you know who the studs are. You know who the feminine ones. Off top, they don't even mess around like that. And the studs they're actually more harder than actually me. And I'm guy.
They're trying to prove something. Studs, that's what they're sometimes the toxic masculinity and the studs is like so beyond. You're like, okay, dude, like calm down. Like we get it. But I heard there's a comic last time I was in Birmingham, there's a comic who was talking about studs on stage right after my set, because it was like something where it was like a open mic, but with me headlining in the middle, something like that. So then he got on right afterwards and was talking about studs, and he was like, you know what studs stands for? Still titties under that shirt. I was like, careful. Those are the jokes that are making them cut them off. Don't mess with them.
But not shirt though. Stud. I thought stud ends with a D, not a T.
Well, still titties under that shirt. Studs.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some lesbians. I'm like, yo, and they studs. I'm like, man, I would probably ride that rodeo.
Wait, you'd ride the stud rodeo? Or
There's some studs I see. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll let you go on my Congo trip.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like everyone's got a little bit of gay in them, even if it only is expressed in like wanting to fuck the boy lesbian sometimes or whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've seen some boy lesbians, and I'm like, man, I see the curve. I see like when you take your clothes off,
right?
It looks great, you know.
But there's also like this masculinity that's kind of, because a lot of dudes also have that thing where they're like, there's a bunch of dudes who love dick, but it has to be on a woman, you know. So they're just like so happy about all these trans chicks now because they have been wanting to suck dick forever, and now they finally have, as long as there's boobs and long hair,
get built the boat war. Like I think Wayne Brady said he's pansexual now, so
that makes sense. Yeah.
Why does that make sense that he?
I don't know. He just gives that. I remember watching Whose Line Is It Anyway? If I could see that, I could see that energy a little. It feels like very, like, you know, that we call men, like gay men, fairies. So Pan has the right, you know, like the little fairy from Midsummer Night's Dream or something like that.
Right.
Pan, I don't know, something like that. Some kind of, it feels.
Yeah, you could tell like he's into like drag, wearing dresses, and he's into plays a lot.
Yeah,
and he's a black guy, so I was like, so when he said he was pansexual, I was like, yeah, I could see that. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah,
I wasn't surprised at all. I mean, some black people are mad about it. Like, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, you can't believe it. Have you been watching his body of work for years?
Right. You can believe it. You don't think it's gross or whatever, but you should be able to believe it.
I mean, when Chappelle said, the skit with the nigga Damas on Chappelle show, when Paul Moody says he ain't black, he was talking about a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
They had to do the whole skit the following week to show that he was black and stuff. It was hilarious, man. It was just like, I was like, dude, just live your truth, man. That's all I'm saying. If you, whatever you like, live your truth. So long as you're not hurting anybody, find your happiness.
It's weird. I don't know why everyone really needs to come out about like pansexuality though. Like, you know, when we were coming out of the closet about being gay, it was important, you know, to visibility so people would understand it's your daughter, it's your cousin, it's your coworker, it's your friend, you know, we need rights. But with some of this, it's like, I don't care what combinations of people you fuck. You know what I mean? Like, do we need to know? Because pansexual is like, you're saying like, I'm attracted to feminine men and masculine women and trans dudes and non-binary, you know, Z-Zims and, you know, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to know, you know, like, there's a little bit of like, you're just trying to kind of say like, I'm open to anything.
Right.
And I think that's cool. And I think open is a good way to put yourself. To be like, I'm not closing myself off to anything. But most of us aren't even really saying it. It's like, I'm not really saying I'm closing myself off to even dating men necessarily, although I have some political reasons maybe. But it's just kind of like, well, I've never been attracted to one like that. Like I've never, you know, so I'm noticing a pattern. of lesbianism. I seem to be attracted to females. And the older I've gotten, the more I've realized I'm really particularly attracted to feminine females. So, but if there's, people who are noticing they're attracted to all this, that, and the other, like, all right. But, it's like, at what point, there's people who come out to their parents about their kinks and stuff. And you're like, do you need to come out to your parents about pansexuality? Like, you might need to come out to them about bisexuality if you're going to bring a man home for Christmas one year and a woman home for Christmas the next year or something. But do you need to be like, by the way, there could be a woman with a penis sometimes. Like, just let that come up if it comes up. And then you can be like, yeah, I'm attracted to everyone. But do you need to be, I don't know. Some of this stuff, it's like, do we need to come out? Or are you just wanting to let people know you're in the cult or you're special?
My favorite one is when a gay person said they're gay. That's the funny part. Like, you remember when Clay Aiken said he was gay?
Oh, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm gay. And everybody's like, really?
No, you don't understand that needed to happen because my mom was still in denial.
Really? You could
Oh, yeah.
American Idol. I watch
a lot of moms.
I used to watch American Idol all the time. I could tell, like, this guy is definitely a gay person. That's
absolutely
no doubt about it.
Dude, you don't know though, because my mom, I was growing up and had to pretend not to be gay and stuff. My family's Mormon, and so and she loved Clay Aiken. We all did. We loved Clay Aiken, and so a few years I was in college, but I think I was already out to her as gay at this point. But like Clay had come out with some kind of memoir, and she was listening to it on a CD in the car while she was like driving me home from the airport or something, and he was talking about like being bullied and being different and like whatever. Like he kept saying stuff that it was like so obviously talking about being gay, but he never actually says it. But it's about as sick as you could get without just saying I'm gay. He just was really pretty much laying it out there. And I was like, Mom, you know what he's saying, right? And she's like, what? No. And so I was like, he's gay, Mom. And she was like, that's not what he's saying. Whatever. Like totally still in denial. So not until he actually officially came out did she then go like, oh, I guess he was gay. I'm wrong,
Right.
But
even with Lance from NSYNC, when he said he was gay, I was like, I kind of figured that too. It was like,
yeah, but our moms never cared about Lance, so that didn't. Clay was different because
Lance never did American Idol, so nobody cared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when you did American Idol, you were in like middle age America's home, right?
Exactly.
And all these older people loved you and stuff like that. So you're more the Christian beliefs. They want you to be more on the Christian side. And when you go, oh, I'm gay, they're like, what?
Right.
That's crazy. But I was like, yeah, this guy's flaming gay all day, every day.
Yeah, everybody younger already got that. But like, yeah, all of the middle America, older ladies and stuff, like they needed him to come out so that they could finally get out of their denial and realize like, oh, okay, this guy that we love, whose Christmas albums we listen to every year,
Well,
this
that
guy
sounds gay already. If you do a Christmas album, that sounds good. To get any gay into the Christmas album.
That's true. But I love it.
Not against Christmas, but when you just do Christmas albums, like, oh my God. How much Christmas albums can you do? We've already know the song. You know the hits.
I wanted to hear Clay Aiken's Oh Holy Night.
But it might be a totally different thing.
You need a good tenor to hit that high E or whatever.
Now you got these Christian people trying to break his music down and go, so which part is he talking about being gay in now? Now it's the song they like. They try to do like cryptic breakdowns to the songs and stuff. It's hilarious.
Well, I mean, lesbians always used to do that with like Kelly Clarkson songs and all this, Taylor Swift songs. People always picking them apart, trying to make them gay. So it's Christians and the gays.
Society? Why can't you not enjoy a song and just leave it alone? Why does it have to have some kind of hidden meaning?
Right, and it's also like, dude, if you want to hear those lyrics as gay for you, like, great, enjoy it and relate to it however you want to relate to it. But like, I just don't give a shit who almost any famous person is doing or not doing or whatever. I don't understand the celebrity culture in general.
You don't? So like, you're not like, you wouldn't be like a fan person if you saw somebody you liked. You wouldn't like pass out or scream.
No, I mean, the only people I probably really care about are comedians for the most part. There's some actors that I think are really attractive or good, but I would scream. Who would you scream if you saw?
If I say like Halle Berry, I'd probably lose my shit.
I'm afraid I wouldn't even recognize most people. Like, I definitely know what she looks like, but I feel like if I saw her in person, she probably would look so different from whatever pictures and movies that I've seen.
You know what you sound like right now? You sound like Tig Notaro.
I do. I could do all that TV show that she did where she didn't recognize
she's like,
people.
I don't know if she's fucking with me or what. I'm like, she can't not be a real person.
No, I would be the exact same person as Tig in that show.
Really? Like,
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think I could pick Kim Kardashian out of a lineup if you put vaguely similar people. I finally did look at her. I've seen her maybe 4 times, and like I finally looked at her the other day for a few moments because my girlfriend was showing me something about her clothing line, or she has bras.
Like a new underwear line, yeah.
Yeah, I think my girlfriend wears her bras. Oh no, it's because Kim, she had been thick and promoting that look for America, but now she's gotten a bunch of work and she sucked all the fat out, so now she's doing the like tiny waist, big.
Yeah, her waist is like extremely tiny right now.
Yeah, I guess she just got a bunch of work done and to reshape her body into so we were doing like thick and curvy for a while, but now Kim Kardashian is leading the culture on like an insanely impossible body again. It was already insanely probably impossible whatever she was doing before on One Direction, but now it's my girlfriend was saying we're going back to like
this is the thing like she introduced, called a Skims bra, built-in nipple.
Built-in nipple, what does that mean?
What it says on the caption. It says Kim Kardashian introduces Skims bra with built-in nipple.
Built-in nipple. Don't you usually wear a bra partly to cover up your nipples?
Yeah, I don't know what that even means, but yeah, this is what she's selling right here. This thing.
Right, but I think she's taken in her waist and she's taken some of her thighs out. Like she'll just like have the doctors go in and suck fat out of somewhere and put it somewhere else, whatever she wants. So I just don't find her face attractive. So I don't really understand. But that's the thing. It's like I notice what men seem to like. Faces don't really have to be what I would consider very attractive. Y'all just mostly care about the body and the face not just being. The face shouldn't be like janky or something, But like, you don't seem to mind these like severe kind of looks and things. But then I also don't like. I just was noticing this in the music video you play in the beginning. I really don't like skin tight outfits. Like
you don't like that little like that's Mystina, by the way. That's her band.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, she's beautiful and I love many of her outfits and stuff. But I was just realizing like, I don't like skin tight outfits. I don't like whether it's that full leopard, full whatever. I don't like that.
Is it because it's too revealing or?
No, it's because I like softness and you don't get any softness in that. It makes it really like firm and hard. Like just as women, like I love it when women don't wear bras. I like that look, like, especially if a woman has like nice perky upturned boobs and then she's not wearing a bra and,
right.
That's perfect. But like I don't really like when a woman wears a bra, her boobs might look bigger, but then they look hard. Like I don't like fake boobs. I don't really like firm bras, and I don't like skin tight. Like I really only like softness. So when you're wearing that kind of skin tight outfit, there's no softness. Even like the yoga pants that are really constrictive and stuff. I'm like, it's interesting. But I think men, right? Like men seem to really like those things, right? Like you really like the skin tight
less
stuff.
Is more for men. We like less is more.
Well, sure, less is, but you got to go less than that for me. Just take your clothes off. That's nice. Put a tiny little thing over your nipples so that I'm teased or whatever. But that's.
I'm just I don't know because I'm with you. I mean, what about like I used to date a chick that liked to wear like she would buy like lingerie. That was her thing. She would buy a whole bunch of lingerie and stuff like that. And I had to tell her one day, said, look, I don't care about the lingerie. I'm not having sex with the lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having sex with the person inside the lingerie that's wearing it. So if you take it off, it's off. It's game time regardless. I'm going to be effective either way. I'm not going to go, ooh, your lingerie's turned me on even more. No, it's just like I'm going to take it off anyway. So,
but see, that's the thing. Actually, I've been my mind has been because now I'm dating the most femme woman I've ever been with, and she does like lingerie and stuff. And like some of them, I'm like, oh, this actually is really hot. And there's certain things like where like she has this one that's like these leather kind of where it has like these gold chains.
Yeah.
And so I can still see all of her boobs, but just the fact that there is something kind of there, like, does really turn me on.
Is it kind of like a dominatrix outfit or something?
Not exactly, but it's like a little kinky, but it's not really dominatrix, but it's like, it has that kind of hot empower. I don't know what to, but I also like having like the chain and her boob in my mouth at the same time. So that's part of it. But there's just, I don't know, like there's some lingerie things where I have gotten into it, or like, like a thong, a bikini thong kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like there's something nice about that little strap right there. I like the process of you have the clothes and then we get to take them off. I like having both. I don't want to skip right to naked. I do like the process.
Hey man, look,
it.
I'm African, so I'm going straight to the basics.
Straight, yeah.
Straight to the basics.
Is that a thing? Africans don't like lingerie and.
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know. I can't speak for every African man, but I know for me, I'm like I get turned on when I see like back in the day when they had Discovery Channel with women walk around naked and stuff. Like I turned me on. Like,
oh yeah, I mean I watch that too.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, I like naked too. I just
like,
love a striptease.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like lingerie. I'm not anti lingerie, but I think lingerie for me, because I'm not a woman, obviously. I think it's for her to make her feel sexy. She wants to feel sexy, right? But for me,
maybe that's part of it,
right?
Like the sexier she feels, the sexier she's going to act,
right? For me, is I tell her I love you regardless. I'm having sex with you regardless, so it doesn't matter if you buy lingerie from fucking Lane Bryant or Victoria's Secret. It's still going down, Yeah. That's not my ration, and some women don't understand that, But
well, maybe that's part of it, because when my girlfriend wears that kind of sexy stuff, like a lot of times she is going to give me like a lap dance or something. So any kind of lap dance, stripteasy thing, and when she's in that mode, I mean, that's a huge turn on.
So it's game time. It's like, boom, I'm going.
Yeah. Well, nothing's going to make me fuck her harder than her giving me a lap dance. So it's in everyone's interest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this podcast for almost 3 years now. Yeah, started in 2020.
2020 makes sense.
And I've never had this much conversation about sex in a long. I don't think I've had it. Usually we talk about everything, but not.
We can talk about it.
We started from Congo's penis.
Yeah, that's. It just happened because my girlfriend's in the Congo. That just happened.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We were talking for like an hour about sex, and I love it. But it's just like, holy shit, this is a long time about sex on my podcast. I don't think I've ever talked this much about it. We might have talked about maybe like a couple of segments, but not an hour. And this is fun. I'm learning so much about sex.
I was a very sexual person ever since I was a kid. And then, for the last
Arielle.
For the last several years, I did a podcast called Gender Fluids that was all about sex and kink and fetishes and stuff. So I know a lot of stuff because of that too.
That makes sense.
It's interesting. I find sex to just be interesting. And it's like, it's inherently going to be funnier and more interesting to talk about sex than most things. Just don't get me started on RFK,
What is that? What is RFK?
RFK. I just mean like RF Kennedy Jr., we could talk about Israel Palestine if you want.
No, we can talk about everything. I want to switch. I want to switch topics, obviously, because I can't keep talking about sex because I'm single. I don't have nobody, so I can't.
Oh yeah, my bad. Right at cuffing season, and you're single.
I'm so lonely.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to call my ex after the podcast. Like, hey, you still got that lingerie that I?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Get on Hinge.
Yeah. So let's switch conversation. What was your reaction to Matthew Perry passing away Saturday?
You know,
it's funny because I was headlining Hyenas Comedy Club over the weekend in Fort Worth, and I have a bit about TMZ, and the joke is I say TMZ is so powerful, they never lie about anything. Like every story they break is always true. This how powerful TMZ is. You're not dead till TMZ say you're fucking dead, right?
Yeah.
You get the big pop, right? So one of my homeboys that went to my show, he texted me that as soon as he got home, it says, guess what? Matthew Perry just died and TMZ just broke it. And I go, wow. one, he's paid attention to my joke, and secondly, holy shit, Matthew Perry's passed away. So that kind of fucked me up. Like, where were you at when you heard that news?
I was at a show and I just happened to open up my Instagram and it was the first thing that popped up. And then I, quickly saw another one and confirmed it and whatever. And I don't know. I just feel a little numb to it. I mean, I really loved the Friends show for a long time and whatnot. But I just am like, again, my celebrity, I'm just like, yeah, people have been dying and are going to keep dying. And it sucked. 54. I'm like wondering, because he said he drowned or something, right? So I was like, is it drugs? Yeah. Presumably drugs. Oh, he said heart attack, but I mean, I would assume drugs.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just sad. That's all. I tried to tweet today. I'm not good at tweeting because the types of humor and tweets that I do are always different. But I tried tweeting what was funny to me today to be like, like the disinformation online is so bad now. Like I can't even be certain Matthew Perry is dead just because I don't know if your feed, with like Palestine, Israel, just like the back and forth of all the propaganda, just the propaganda in general of every topic when things are political. But so I'm like, what if this is propaganda? It's my little joke, but no one liked it. So,
yeah.
But I mean, I think that the last I heard from him, I feel like I remember he was on a podcast maybe a year ago, and I think he had gotten clean. And he had been clean for not very long, but he had gotten clean and it seemed hopeful. But I think he probably relapsed, and it doesn't feel surprising. It just feels sad.
Yeah. So this is the last picture they took from him on TMZ like 2 weeks ago. So he was not looking
good.
At all. He looked a hot mess.
Yeah, and I wish TMZ wouldn't take pictures of people. I don't paparazzi stuff. It's a bummer, and I think it probably contributes to people's
depression,
drug use and depression because you're being unwatched and like, how are you doing? And people reporting on, this guy looks like he's not doing well. Like that, it's not good. It's immoral. It's gross. I think that's part of why I don't want to be involved in celebrity culture like that. Is I don't want to give clicks or money or anything to the people who are like, let's follow celebrities around and keep up with their love lives and how they're doing. Like, that's gross. They're just people, Yeah,
they're just people that just happen to have.
Why did any of us give a shit what Matthew Perry looks like on a Tuesday? Like,
yeah, I think I remember him they did the reunion of Friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was 2021 on HBO Max, and I could tell like even from the reunion show, like his voice was not like strong. You could tell like something he was straining while he was talking. He didn't seem like confident. People were complaining obviously on social media, going, "What's wrong with Matthew Perry?" He seemed like he seems a little bit bloated. He lost weight, but he still had a little puff face and stuff like that. And he couldn't hold a conversation. It seemed like he was slurring with his words, all that stuff. Then last year he had a memoir that came out talking about him struggling with depression and alcoholism and drugs. He went to rehab like 9 times.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, this man like went through the ringer with fame,
Yeah, it really is not healthy for you to be as famous as he was. I think it was Bill Maher about a year or so ago. He was on Bill Maher and Bill was talking to him about how happy he was for him, that he was clean, and he was really encouraging him to be like, hey man, like I believe in you. I love seeing you healthy again, like looking forward to more work from you. And, I remember listening to that episode feeling a little sad, like I don't know why we even, like, it's nice of Bill to have him on, but I guess maybe the book had come out. I was like, I don't think he's got more projects in him. I think maybe if he's going to live a good life, he should just go off into the mountains and try to have some peace or something.
Right.
Because Hollywood isn't where you're going to have a healthy, happy recovery.
Yeah, Hollywood. Like I've been to LA twice and not a fan. I don't mind performing there. I just couldn't live there. Just
No, I would never want to live in LA.
so much stuff going on. But yeah, it was. So yeah, back to my show. I hate to hop back on my show, but Saturday when I found out the news, that hurt me really. Like obviously, celebrities die all the time, and for some reason, this one really hit me because I really love Chandler's. I love that character, Chandler. That he was so sarcastic guy. Like
Yeah.
He was like you could tell like he was the funniest guy in the fucking room. Like to me, he was more of a comedian. You know, like more of a stand-up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
stuff. You know,
the other guys were kind of what I can't remember their names anymore. The
Joey
paleontologist,
was
Joey's retarded, and just like kind of like okay, they just even as a person, he doesn't seem like like it just worked for that character,
right?
And then the other guy was annoying. Ross was annoying.
Ross was simple. Yeah, he was just
right.
So, yeah.
All the women were funny.
All the women was hilarious.
And Chandler was funny, but the other two guys I never really cared much about. Like they could be funny, but they were kind of dumb and annoying. So Chandler really held it together for the men, and
Chandler was like when they did the whole reunion show. Back to I'll get back to anyway. So Saturday my show, I had the two shows that night. So I found out about his death after the first show. So the second show, I usually don't acknowledge somebody dying.
I would have if I were headlining it. Yeah, everyone probably had seen their phone. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did. I go. I obviously I did it at the tail end of my set. I didn't do it in the beginning, like, "Hey, Matthew Perry." So I did like at the tail end of the show, and the crowd was like, you could tell, Arielle, the crowd was like, you could tell like it's if you're in your late 30s, mid 40s, that's our demographic, right? That's the people that we liked on TV. So when I said that Matthew Perry passed away today, I almost cried because I'm getting chills just saying it right now because I felt like it. I love that guy. You know, that guy was like, I loved his movies. I loved everything about him. He was such a good person. And I had a bit that I have a friend's joke that I did, and I go, "Hey, is it okay for me to do that bit tonight in honor of Matthew Perry?" And everybody was like, "Yeah," and I did the joke, and people laughed. It fucking sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah, it's just sad. It was certainly no one expected that. 54 years old, no one thought that was going to be the news that day, and
not at all. And yeah, that's another thing I was going to bring up because he said when he was doing Friends, they let you know he's a classic comedian, right? He goes, "I always wanted to be the funniest guy in each scene, so we get mad if somebody is funnier than me in that scene because most of the stuff is improvised. Obviously, he's like, I just want to say the funniest stuff and just get everybody laugh. That was my drug. Like, and if I didn't make somebody laugh that day, I'm automatically sad. I go, that's why I fuck with you, Matthew Perry."
Yeah, and probably he should have been doing stand-up or something at the end to get him not depressed.
Who is his agent? Who is his manager?
He needed to be making people laugh. Yeah.
He was a stand-up comic, didn't even know he was, you know?
Right, that's the thing. Like, comics can't retire. Not really. We're all addicted.
No. If you're a good comic, you shouldn't fucking retire.
It's crazy. Yeah. How could you ever give this up?
Because I like literally like I don't know if you do that too. When I go to like family functions or I go to like parties and stuff, I cannot turn off the comedy stuff inside of me. So I start doing bits in conversation with people, and they're fucking laughing, and my siblings going, "Oh,
right."
So being a comedian. Do you do that sometimes?
It's either or. I'm either on and doing that, and like trying to not be obnoxious and inappropriate, or I just have to kind of like become a really small version of myself and just kind of like. Keep like if there's inappropriate, like you're not allowed to make inappropriate jokes somewhere, or it's gonna be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like I have to just like do my own thing, or just really only talk to a couple people at the party and be that way. But like sometimes I just really shut down if I have to go to like weird family functions where I can't be that way.
Because I feel like, but that's how if I'm bored, that's when I start being funny because I'm trying to entertain myself, right? And I might say fucked up shit about my family to outsiders and be like, "Don't say that," but I'm like, "What? It's funny."
Right.
It's just me being bored, right? It's just the way of me just trying to kill time.
Yeah.
But I've kind of put in more in like prime example, my brother turned 40 this year, and obviously had a big old party, and I decided his best friend did a toast at his birthday party, and his name is Brian, and he gets on stage, and the first thing he said was, "Yeah, me and Jeff, they used to work together at Verizon." He said, they used to think me and Jeff were brothers, and when I heard that, I go, "You son of a bitch." I'm here at this party. I can hear you say this shit, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes, yeah, Jeff's like he's a ladies' man. Like ladies love Jeff. He's a good looking guy, and everybody's looking and going, okay, where are we? Keep in mind, his wife is there.
Oh,
Wife is there, right there.
yeah.
He's like, Jeff's a good looking guy, but that's not about what I'm making a toast. He's a good man. He's a good father of kids, and blah blah blah. Then he ends the toast like, yeah, he's a good looking guy. Like ladies, I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like what are you talking about? So I said, now I have to roast that motherfucker now.
Yeah.
One, he said that him and Jeff look alike, so he kind of said I don't look like my brother. And secondly, you kept saying it twice that he's a ladies' man. So when I did the toast, the comedian side of me couldn't turn off. I had to roast him. I had to say something. And I addressed it. And I go, hey, man, give it up for Brian, man. Brian did the toast. My brother is like, yeah, Brian, I'm here. Hurt my little feelings. I'm his brother for real life. And secondly, his wife is like right here. How you keep saying he's a ladies' man? Are you trying to get him in trouble tonight? Like, what kind of toast? And when I said that, the crowd laughed because the crowd was like,
release the tension.
Right.
Yeah.
They were thinking this shit. I was like, yeah, you need to stop drinking tonight because you said too much tonight. All right.
Yeah.
And I said, I am the comedian in the family. I am the idiot in the family. And he laughed at that. So I let people know that, hey, man, it's okay. I'm the jokey guy. I'm not taking shots at Brian intentionally.
People shouldn't drink so much, especially before toasts and stuff. Like, we are alcoholic ass culture. I've been watching this show where people get married. It's called Married at First Sight. Have you seen that? Yeah.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like these people are getting married, and a few of them keep it together and don't like get drunk, but a lot of them are just. It's just so normal for people to be like, it's the morning of your wedding. All right, cheers. We're doing it. You're getting married to a stranger today, and they start drinking already. And like, this one chick is just trashed by the time she gets married. Oh, and like she's just wasted the whole time. And it's because the guy's like, seems like she's more of a partier than me. And like his parents are seeing her, and her best friend is toasting her like, well, we just love going out and drinking, and I just hope you're not going to take that away because. Like just like the whole thing is so alcohol focused. And you're like, God, man, this is embarrassing. Like, why is it should not be so normal to be like, oh, we're getting married, shots. Like, why does everyone want to numb and dumb their brains down so much? You're going to have to speak publicly. I guess that's the thing is everybody thinks it's going to help them, but it's like, no, it's just going to make you feel more comfortable saying stupid shit.
Right.
You're going to notice it less, but it would be better to be sober when you're going to give a little speech.
It just sounds like a nightmare though, just being drunk on your wedding day.
Right. You don't want to, I'm just barely going to remember it.
You want to soak up the feeling, experience. You want to, I don't know. Yeah. Like birthday. Yeah. You can't fuck your birthday.
Right. Birthday. But then again, if you're marrying a stranger, some part of you knows this is bullshit anyway.
Right. Because you get paid. This is for TV. They probably have writers.
I hope they're getting paid. I don't know.
You don't think so?
A lot of these reality shows pay these people little to nothing.
Yeah. I don't know why you want to do shows like that. Because I want to get paid. If I'm going to embarrass myself, you got to pay me.
A lot of these people genuinely want to get married and just like clearly can't arrange a marriage themselves. It's really interesting because it's like Americans doing arranged marriage. This is like this guy who sets people up. They answer all these questions and he sets people up. It's just so funny because I remember growing up, like when we would learn about arranged marriages in other cultures, just being like horrified. Like, that's crazy. We believe in love marriages here and everything. And how could anyone let your parents choose? And now these sad people who are tired of the apps are just like, all right, let's do an arranged marriage. And also, literally get to see our spouse on the day of our marriage and see how that goes.
Yeah, my mom tried to do that with me. God rest her soul. I was like, nope, not doing that. She was trying to hook me with one of her church member friends.
Well, that's always the way. Yeah.
And I was like, my mom was like this. She's a good Christian woman. She knows how to cook. She's very polite. And I always wanted to tell my
Polite.
mom, what about anal sex? Is she big on anal?
Yeah. You don't want a woman who's too polite. It doesn't sound like.
Like, is she big on like hardcore sex?
Yeah. Polite's not the vibe, Mom.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
she's polite. She's a good church woman, and like all the stuff that you don't want to hear as a fucking.
Right.
They're like, "Ma, I don't want to hear that."
Well, that's the thing. The one couple that seems to be doing well on that is that they're both very Christian and they both want that conservative marriage where like the man is the patriarch and the woman is, like cooks and cleans, but he spoils her and buys her everything. But then 2 hours after they get married, he tells her, "Oh yeah, by the way, like I was married or I was engaged till 4 months ago, but then that broke off." So basically, you could tell like he had put in the investment into one woman and like thought he found his wife that he could spoil and have all this with, who would, blow him, whatever. And then she breaks up with him. So then he's like, "Oh man, I don't want to fucking go through this shit again. All right, someone else find me a wife who's a good Christian." Maybe it'll work.
Oh my god. Yeah, I just never stood the concept of that. I just never. I treat it like a car, right? I need to go for a test ride. I must see if I like the car, before I buy the car. I can't just fucking just buy the car off of just what I saw in the picture.
Well, it made sense back in the day when like you were in a small village or something and there were only like 2 or 3 people that you could, then it's like, then it's good not to have sex with other people because then you need to figure out how to have good sex with whoever you're with. And it wasn't going to be that good no matter what. You only had a few people and no one was going to be good at sex, but like now you should do a little bit of work on figuring out what you really want.
True, but I don't want to marry a woman that only had sex with just me.
Right. But people wanted that back then.
Because in the back of her head, I don't want her thinking that she's missing something,
They usually didn't though. They just assumed sex was just bad because it was bad with their husband. So it's probably just not. Most women just told themselves, "Oh, sex just sucks for women." So they weren't thinking like, "Oh, it would be better with someone else." They just go, "Oh, I guess sex sucks." And it's just something you do for your man.
I just don't want that pressure. I just don't want to be that person that just lose like you lose your virginity to me. I don't want that pressure. Like I was like, yo, go do your thing, go fuck a couple of people, they come back to daddy. I just can't be the one that's
I think that's normal nowadays. I kind of want every. Plus, it's like even you can get uncomfortable and jealous about people's previous partners, but they also learn sex moves from all those previous partners. They learn things that turn you on. I've learned stuff from pretty much everybody I've ever had sex with. I think so. It's like it makes you a better lover. So,
well, have you been with a black woman?
No, so that's a regret. Hopefully the threesomes will iron that out in the future.
She said that's my biggest regret.
I've made out with some, been on some dates, but never wound up having sex with black women. So yeah.
Really, that is interesting. Like that's my biggest regret.
Well, it'd be nice. I got a hot Chinese girlfriend now.
There you go.
Dated a half Egyptian woman for a while. Some Hispanic chicks and whatever, but no black chicks ever. Never like long-term dated a black. And I don't really like casual sex. I tried it out here and there and little, but I do prefer to be like in love with a woman.
So you're like old-fashioned.
I mean, I just think that sex is way better when you are in love with someone, when you really have feelings for someone.
Nice. Number one sales lady. What's up, girl? How you doing, girl? So this Anna J. Ramirez, she runs a beautiful show once a month out there in Corpus Christi at North Shore Country Club.
Oh, cool.
Anna, get Arielle on your show, man. She's a funny comedian. She's gonna do great at your.
Yeah, I'll come out to Corpus Christi.
Yeah, and she dated speaking of Egyptian, she dated an Egyptian man for a while, so she knows all about the Egyptian people.
Well, maybe she'll know this because my Egyptian girlfriend, I had seen a picture of her like grandma that she had a black eye in this picture, and I was like, that's kind of funny. And my girlfriend told me that she's like, well, black eye, like having one black eye is a sign of beauty in Egyptian culture. And I was like, what? Yeah, he said, because I guess it's because you're beautiful enough for your husband to resent you.
I'm typing this shit in Google search, right? Black eye Egyptian culture. Jesus. Oh.
Yeah, it's like when you're hot enough for your, husband to like bother beating you, because you know how men's misogyny is often tied to their attraction to women. They're like, fuck you. I hate you so much because I want you and you don't want to fuck me right now, or you're frustrating me. And I just wish I didn't want to fuck you, but yeah, I don't know what these.
Hey, what is this? I typed it in, didn't say anything about that. Black eye means spiritually.
Spiritual meaning. I think they're talking about that's like someone with actual black eyes.
Yeah. You talk about like the
I'm talking about yeah, because he beats you when he's like she was implying that like when men have homely wives, they don't wind up getting mad enough at them to punch them.
Jesus.
Who knows? I don't know if that's something you can find much on the internet.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it right now. I don't see that. I see this right here.
When is it? Yeah, cool. Eye makeup stuff.
Makeup, yeah.
Well, that is something where we do like these eyeliners and stuff. And I noticed that like when eyeliner looks really good, it's when it has that smudgy look. I remember accidentally doing that as a teenager when I was trying to learn how to use eyeliner, and like I kept having to wash it off because it looked stupid. And eventually I went to church with it kind of smudgy, and I kept getting all these compliments. And it does kind of look a little bit like you either kind of got a black eye, or you're kind of hungover or something. Like there is something to that look.
Nice.
Where it's like, do we kind of like the look of a woman who's gotten roughed up?
I don't want that. So Anna said, oh yeah, I forgot. I dated the Egyptian. He was a crypto guy. Of course he was. Of course he was a crypto guy. All right. And she dated Iranian too. It's like, so she
gets around.
Yeah. She gets all different spectrum of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing with the black eye. I didn't know that, because I know my culture, we don't have that. We don't have nothing. We do have like tribal marks, like stuff for your face so you can figure out what tribe you're from. But the black eye stuff is just no. We don't. Not a thing over there.
I don't feel like I even know how black eyes show up on black people. It doesn't.
I'm pretty sure you can see it on some black people. If you're like me, I'm not that black, right? So if somebody punches me, you probably see it.
I just don't know if I've ever seen. I can't remember ever seeing. Because it's like if light skinned people, it can be so purple and green.
Right, it'll be visible if you light skinned for sure.
Yeah,
like
it's easier to cover.
You would see that.
Yeah, is that why we didn't realize Rihanna was getting beat up? She's light enough skinned.
Yeah, she was light skinned, and she got beat up by Chris Brown pretty bad. It was pretty visible.
I mean, I didn't ever look up pictures as per usual. I never see people's sex tapes either. That's one thing, whenever these things
being awesome, you didn't have time to look at stuff like that.
I also don't even know how you find these sex tapes.
It's around.
Most stuff on the internet like gets taken down, or you have to like know how to find things.
You probably could find it on Pornhub.
Okay, yeah, look at Pornhub, I guess.
Pornhub pretty much has everything on there.
Porn sites bum me out so much.
Why? Because it's just
and then there's a weird cartoon of someone gagging on a dick over here. Yes, single like hot babes to talk to. Like, I just don't want. And then you click on something. The porns almost never correlate to what the titles are. So a lot of times they'll put the title that's exactly what you're looking for, and then the thing is like not even that. So it's hard for me to find exactly what I want.
Yeah, I do get anxiety, like when I'm on porn sites. I get anxiety on any streaming sites actually, because it's just so much stuff to watch. You don't even know what to watch now. It's like
I miss Blockbuster Online. I used to do, or even Netflix when they did the DVDs.
Oh yeah, don't get me started about that. That was.
It was so nice to just know exactly what I was going to watch. I would have a queue. The movies would come. I would watch whatever movie had come in the mail. None of this clicking around. Everyone was just so excited to get stopped at the DVDs and go streaming. And I'm like, yeah, but every time we do this, you sit there clicking for half an hour trying to decide what we're going to watch.
Right.
Whereas if the damn DVD were here, we would just watch that.
Yeah, everybody watched. Again, we sound like the old people again. Back in my days.
But it's true. I'm just one of those people, like, totally at Blockbuster, or you walk into one, you could talk to the nerd about what you should watch. But like, I would rather wander around Blockbuster doing that than click on the damn thing going, okay, do we want to watch comedies, or I don't know, maybe documentaries, or, and just like the same way, I just want to be doing it. I don't care if it's not even ideal. It's the same way, like if we're in a parking lot and someone is driving around trying to find a good spot, I'm like, just park in that spot. I will happily walk 200 feet. Just pick something.
Again, you're preaching to choir. I loved Blockbuster. Blockbuster was the shit, man. Like Blockbuster, you get that nerdy person that tells you everything about the movies, what you're about to watch, all that stuff. And I didn't even need to talk to them. I knew exactly what I wanted to watch. I go straight to the aisle I want to get my movies at. I get my shit, boom, rent it, go home, watch it for a couple of days, bring it back.
I think people could bring back these businesses right now. Like there's going to be a more and more appetite for these kind of retro things. And all you got to do is pair it with a coffee shop or beer or bar or something. You know what I mean? Just sell something else too. But the novelty is, we also, if not rent, I don't know if people really want DVDs at all, or if it's like just like a streaming code, but maybe, there's all these things that you really can't stream anywhere. You have to pay, or you have to pay $4 or something. Even if you have Amazon Prime or whatever, you still have to pay $4 or this, that. So it's like, if you had a thing where people could get the code to rent those, but It was like set up like a Blockbuster where you would talk to people, what should I watch that's not free streaming? Like you had kind of like a little, it's like the sommelier of, the Blockbuster person, who could tell you, oh yeah, here's something great that you can't get for free. Here's something great that you can't get for free. I would happily then be like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Let me, I had this experience. I got a beer or a coffee or something. Right. Yeah, I don't know. People should do more. There's always hybrid businesses. We should get creative with that.
I thought they had a video store out there in Austin that does something like that.
Well, there was iHeartVideo. I think they're gone.
It was on Jimmy Kimmel or something. It was Jimmy Kimmel and Matthew McConaughey went to the place and did like a little retro commercial for it.
I think that was probably iHeartVideo, but they had become much more of a just like kind of like a Planet K, just like selling knickknacks and smoke shop type stuff and weird gifts. Because I was right by the old Cold Town Theater.
Okay.
But I think they did still rent stuff out, but I'm pretty sure they went under during the pandemic.
Yeah, I see like these sex shops, sex stores. I still see them, and I go, "Who's still going to those places?" Like, I kind of figure that everybody gets stuff online now.
Well, good sex stores, like the big ones, are usually kind of trash, but good sex stores can be really good because you do have that like Blockbuster employee effect, where there's some kinky weirdo freak who like has tried everything. And because like when my girlfriend and I were just in Korea in Seoul, like we did go into a sex store because we wanted to buy, because everything's cheaper there. So we're like, hey, while we're at it, like maybe we should buy another dildo here and this or that, the other, some condoms and lube and whatever. We use condoms because her pussy's very sensitive. Anyway, so it sucks. Do you know how many, like I nowadays, like there's times
like in my head I'm going, what?
I know there's times that I don't get the fucker with a strap on because we don't have condoms. And I'm just like, are you sure? Can I just use a saran wrap? I'm really, yeah. I never thought I would be in that situation either.
Oh my God.
It's like booty call. But, so anyway, we're in this little shop in Korea and this chick comes over and she knows everything. She knows about everything and has the recommendations of, oh, this feels good. And you can warm this up like this. And then it gets hard. Yeah. Like, so it is useful. But just don't go to the big ones. You just have to go to like the little ones where they curate it so they only have a selection of like the good quality stuff. You don't waste your time. Because sex toys, it's one of those things where it's like you could pay $20 for a dildo, but that's gonna suck. You need to be paying in America like 120 plus. Yeah.
I get it. Anyway, so enough about the other stuff. Comedy. Let's go back to comedy. Okay. Let's go back to. I love interview. You're the best. I feel like I can interview forever. So what made you want to be a stand-up comic?
Oh, it depends on how far back you go. My mom told me I should do it when I was like 5. I was ranting about like pink and purple hearts. That was the thing. I was really annoyed because everyone in like church and school, all of the girls only liked the colors pink and purple, and I did not understand that. All the boys, you know, they had blue and green and yellow and brown and orange. Like, it seemed like they had every color, but girls like insisted, they just loved pink and purple. And I still don't fully understand how that gender shit works. Cause like I got a niece who she is all pink and purple. And she'll also tell you she loves orange, and anyway, she has like 5 favorite colors, but she's very focused on pink and purple. But I was just ranting about and they only like pink and purple, and they only like hearts and stars, the only 2 shapes they ever did. And all the boys had every dinosaur and trucks and, you know, anything like. And so I was just like carrying on, like monologizing about how stupid I found all of this. And my mom told me that I should be a stand-up comedian. But, you know, I didn't know anything really about stand-up comedy until I was like 16 or 17. And I found there used to be something that Yahoo had called Launchcast Plus. Okay. And it was before like Pandora and certainly Spotify. It was this music player, this radio, where you could rate any song on a scale from 0 to 100. 0, never play again. 100, I like it a lot, but you could put it anywhere. And that really worked for me. And so I was always discovering new music that I loved, and it would play songs I already loved. And then one day it played some stand-up for me, and I was like, and I put that on 100. And then I like eventually realized there was a genre thing. So I went and put stand-up on 100, and every stand-up that I ever played, I put it 100, even if I didn't like it as much. But I just was like, just give me more of this. And so I discovered Bill Hicks, Chris Rock, George Carlin, some Jeff Foxworthy, Ron White, Bill Engvall, they're the Cable Guy, you know, like all kinds of different ones that would have been big enough for that. And some Paula Poundstone, Lily Tomlin. But yeah, so I just started listening to as much of that as I could while playing Diablo 2. And then when I was 23 and I lived in Orlando, I had this like realization all of a sudden that I wanted to do stand up, and I was already about to move to New York. And so I did a couple of open mics in Orlando, and then actually one in Dallas, and then I moved to New York. But then I got really intimidated by the scene because it was in 2010. It's not really this way as much anymore at all, but in 2010 it was still that kind of thing where you go to a mic and there's 8 people there, but at any given time 4 of them are outside smoking, and the ones who are in there are on their phones, so no one is watching you. And I was just like, this is not what I was hoping to be doing. So then I didn't do it for like 4.5 years until I lived in Boston. And I actually lived in the story above this guy, Rob Crean, who did stand up, and he like ran shows and mics and taught classes. And eventually a friend of mine took a class of his. And then I got jealous because I was like, wait, that's my dream. So then I forced myself to do stand up by taking my friend's class, and then just started going to mics, and the rest is history.
So how long you been doing it now?
I'm coming up on 10 years in February.
Oh, wow. You've done a lot in 10 years. So
some people have done a lot. I mean, nowadays, the kids that are starting these days, like, can do stuff so quickly. They have access to all of the advice and all of the, you know, the internet, so they can get famous, and they can learn from each other. So I feel like, God, yeah, it's just such a cool time to be starting stand up now. I feel like people can get so good so fast.
Yeah, they can get good, but I don't know. There's something. I guess I'm still a purist. I guess I feel like you still have to just pay your dues and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
There is something to that.
But some people just have a following and go, all right, I got a follow. I got like 300,000 followers. They can go on a tour now because they can get people to go see them. And I'm like, but their comedy is not
right
up to par.
But because I feel the same way, but at the same time, you see someone like what I assume of Matt Rife, or, you know, there's a lot of these people where they get famous, and partly it's you know, a lot of people's parents have money, and so they get them a nice camera or they give them opportunities. And the thing is, like, we can resent that, but there is something to, if you can get yourself the opportunity to be put in front of big audiences and good audiences, you can get better faster because you learn how to be bigger. You learn how to have the confidence. You learn how to play to those rooms, and good big audiences are better audiences. Like, there's sometimes you're like, if I go and do an open mic in front of 6 people, you know, 6 comics who all hate everything, like, is that actually helping you get good? Like, in your first few years when you're just trying to get comfortable on stage, maybe, but I don't know if that actually, like, I don't think that would help me now to go and do an open mic like that.
I don't think it's that. I think when you do open mics in the beginning, you just, all you do is just paying your dues, right? That's all it is. You just,
you're getting comfortable on stage.
It's a rite of passage, right? So when you do actually have a good crowd, you actually are like, I waited my whole life for this moment. I'm not going to ruin it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, but there are people who are able to utilize the opportunity of, you know, whether they're just able to, like, bring out big audiences and they just work it out, or they're taken on the road with somebody. And when you have big audiences who are really good, it brings out the best in you. You know, you just, there's that thing where you get up there, and when the audience is hot, all of a sudden you're performing so much better than you usually do. You're giving it more. And so there are people who are able to just take that and run with it and are able to just become really good, versus some people who are grinding it out and like, oh, I'm paying my dues and I'm doing it in front of all these shitty audiences. And the truth is, like, if you can get yourself in front of those good audiences at some different points for different people, you know, because some of those people, you know, I watch them, I go, I would never embarrass myself like that, like just sucking. But, you know, I can't remember what her name is, which one it is, but there's this Asian woman, like, she's Chinese or something, and she wanted to do stand up, and she was already rich from corporate jobs, and so she, like, bought a comedy club, and just, like, she just set herself up to just, like, go in front of you know, huge crowds when she was, like, just 2 years in and stuff. And, like, one time my friend who opened for her, like, she said she walked on, she bombed, and she walked off saying, I'm going to be a famous stand-up comedian one day, or something, like, this is what I'm born to do, or something. And it's like, if you have that kind of attitude and you're able to just do that and work it out, like, some of these people are able to get good fast.
Right, because she owns a comedy club, so she's around a proven audience every week. That's smart, you know?
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know. I guess I'm just being old man, I guess. I just feel like you just got to go through some stuff, you know? You got to get to, because I feel like if you don't go through the rough times, how can you appreciate the good stuff, you know? Some people are bypassing all of that because they have a following, you know?
Yeah, I like to believe there's some good stuff to what we're doing. I mean, we also just want to comfort ourselves that our lives haven't been stupid. But but I do think there's something to that. And I think, we'll certainly appreciate it more. And I have watched people who, you know, I could be a little jealous over the years, like, not really anymore, but I mean, in years like kind of 2 to 7 maybe, where some people would get something where I'm like, wait, I'm a way better comic than they are. How are they getting? And then I would watch them bomb or fail, or like not even realize how bad they were doing and how much they were embarrassing themselves, but be like, I'm so glad that is not me right now. Like, I would rather wait until I am ready for something and I'm going to fucking kill it.
Agreed.
Than to go and do that. And like, but there's people I know, like, who I've seen embarrass themselves in places like the Comedy Store, but they seem to be doing great. They just have the self-confidence. Maybe they have the boobs or whatever, but like, they have the self-confidence, and they put themselves out there, and they're headlining stuff, and they're getting opportunities, and they're getting paid. And I'm like, I would never want to embarrass myself the way I think that some of these people do. Like, I see them say crazy shit on stage where I'm like, they don't even know. But if people are told that someone's famous, if you present yourself, if you dress that way, like, there's so much, people are dumb, and people will come. That's like, people will come and see Matt Rife, and he will be unfunny, but they'll still laugh, and they'll still.
I'm glad you brought that up. So what do you think about this whole Matt Rife phenomenon?
Well, to be honest, I don't really know much, so I shouldn't say too much. I've only seen him do stand-up once at Vulcan in Austin. And it, you know, what I saw wasn't good, but it was, and I don't think he's attractive either. I think his face is weird. He has like kind of like these weird lips that I don't understand it. You know, there's men I'm attracted to, and he's like close, like he has a good body, I think, but like, I just don't, he just doesn't do it for me. And so, but I assume, and this is me, I don't know, I assume he comes from money and he was able to, I don't know anything about how he got where he's at. I just assume he comes from money and he was able to kind of like use that and his looks and just he has the confidence of a straight white man, of just, you know, like of a straight white, you know, conventionally attractive man who's like, I'm great. I'm going to do my thing and I should be famous and I should, like, he just seems to, and you know, and he knows how to put out stuff and utilize social media. Like he's able to do that. And the thing is, like, hopefully he'll get funny one day. I'm sure he's funny sometimes, but he's the kind, like, but I'm also happy if he like is able to get people to come out to comedy and like be interested in stand-up comedy because of him. Like, great, you know. And most people, the other thing we have to remember is like most people are stupid and they need stupid comedy. Most people are basic dumb brutes who just kind of want someone to come out there and be like, you know, and that's not me, but like my audience isn't everybody, you know. So like right. I was never gonna, most of the people, anyone who probably would be a fan of him probably isn't my target audience. Probably not readers, right, you know.
If I had to guess.
Yeah, just from what I've seen, which again, I've only seen him do like half an hour at Vulcan, right. But I could not imagine. I don't understand how anyone would walk away from paying $35 for those tickets and think that they had a good time. But people would laugh some.
Right. So what I fell in this rabbit hole of the Matt Rife thing. I just did research on him and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you tell me then.
And
who is this guy?
From my vantage point, a lot of famous comics in the business, they all rave about him. They all say he's a nice guy. They all say that he's cool. He's done a lot of people's podcasts now, and people got to know the whole Matt Rife person. He started comedy when he was 16 years old. So this is like,
okay.
So he's 26. So he's been doing like 10 years now.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's not like people to the average viewers, they think he's just internet comic, but no, this guy's been grinding. He did comedy. He started in LA. He was doing the fucking the Laugh Factory and shit like that, just grinding at 16 years old. And now 2-3 years ago during the pandemic, he was against.
He was one of the pandemic people.
Yeah, he was against the whole TikTok thing, but the world shut down, so he had nothing else going for him. So his manager said, "Hey man, just start doing videos. Start posting your stand-up online." He started posting stand-up online, and he started getting a couple of traction and started getting viral videos and getting following and all that stuff. So he started, in my opinion, the right way. He started as a comedian. He didn't say, "Hey, I'm just gonna do."
And he just learned how to be really social media savvy.
Right. So he hated. He have done many interviews saying he hates the internet. He doesn't like it, but that's what his fans is now, because people saw him from TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and they all go to the show now. But this guy, he was actually a comedian. Now, do I like that he only posts crowd work Joe videos? I hate that, because now it's affecting my industry. It's coming to my world now, because people are more vocal. I don't know about you, but at comedy shows, people are more vocal now.
Yeah.
Because of the Matt Rifes of the world.
Yeah.
Post these fucking videos of crowd work. So people are going, okay, I guess it's cool to yell out shit at comedy shows now, you know? And it's not okay. Like,
yeah, okay, interesting. Well, maybe I just saw him on an off night. He did not seem like someone who's been doing stand-up for 10 years to me. So that's really interesting. He's also 26, so he maybe just seems like a young person.
26. I didn't say he was funny. I just say that he started a long time ago. He's not a fly-by-night sensation. He was a grinding, but yes, his looks 90% of the time is the reason why he said like, because he's a good-looking guy. So
right.
But his comedy is not my cup of tea. I wouldn't pay to go see him.
Right.
But if he actually open up for him, I'll definitely go open up for him.
Of course. He's never gonna see this. So.
I would be like, hey man, get out of here, man. I open up for you. Fuck, I got fucking integrity. I'm like, no. What I gotta sign?
Spend money.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I guess it's different. Because I'm glad that he's been doing it for 10 years. That's comforting. because I know like JP Sears, I don't know how long he's been doing stand up, but he got really famous because of his great sketches and videos online and his
JP
politics.
Sears?
JP Sears,
How you spell that?
JP, just the letters, and then SEARS, the store. Well, yeah,
Oh yeah,
have you
that
not seen
guy.
this guy? Yeah. So
Yeah.
he has that kind of like anti-woke stuff that people really like, but then when you see him as actual stand-up, because I have friends who really like him online, and then they're excited to see his stand-up, and then he doesn't know what he's doing stand-up wise. He's good at, they like his opinions and they like his sketches, but then it's just like, oh, okay, I'll do stand-up, but it's like, it's just frustrating. You're like, I wish people understood how to find really good stand-up comedians, but it's just the people who are good at the internet, and then people just love famous people.
Yeah.
And when you're famous, they just want to hear what you have to say, and like we all just need the confidence of famous people, and we need to figure out the social media game, because
I'm kicking myself in the ass right now because I should have been doing reaction videos 4 or 5 years ago. I probably would have been famous by now. I really would have. But I did. I was like reluctantly didn't want to do internet stuff. I'm like, I don't want to do social media stuff. I want to be a purist. I just want to go up there and tell my jokes like an artist. And now I'm doing like videos of somebody eating shit, going, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm doing that shit now. Like, but hey, that's.
I need to start doing the reaction videos.
You have to start.
I know.
It's fun. I've been doing it since January of this year. I'm so addicted to. I dream of doing reaction videos. That's how addicted I am to.
Is it like the Stitch things, or what are you doing?
So it just be like dumb, wild, stupid video, and I comment right after the video.
Yeah, but how do you do that is that on Instagram or on TikTok? What are you doing?
I post all of them.
Yeah.
I use a CapCut to do.
Yeah, I use CapCut for.
Yeah.
What do you screenshot the?
So I copy the link and I go and convert it into MP4 and it downloads to my phone, and that's how I do it. Okay,
I gotta look that up. I'm just dumb about all this technology stuff, but I gotta figure it out too.
So if you watch an IG video, just go to Google and type in "convert IG video to MP4." And it downloads it into your phone. It's free.
Okay. Convert IG video to MP4. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
And then just download your phone, and you could just do the editing and do a side by side, or do like right after the video plays, your reaction shows after that. Gotcha. Like I said, it's fun. I love it. I'm like, if Matt Rife can have a fucking career, God damn it, I'm doing it too.
And that's how I like to think about the Matt Rifes. It's like, all right, if this guy can do it, there is no reason the rest of us can't find our audience.
Right.
We just need to figure this social media shit out.
We have to, man. I mean, because this is the future. This is it. Like, if you're not part of it, you're gonna get lost. So I'm like, no, I ain't trying to I'm trying to be in the thick of this whole social media movement. I'm in.
Yep.
Sign me up. Let's go.
Yep.
Hell, I'm doing a podcast online.
Exactly. Right.
This is social media. I'm trying to put content out there and let people know who you are.
Exactly.
Oh, it's fun. This was fun. This was a fun interview. We did almost 2 hours.
Yeah, good. I think we covered all of the major topics.
Right, we covered the Matt Rife. We have to talk about
big dicks to Matt Rife.
Big dicks to Matt Rife. We talked about Matthew Perry. We talked about sexuality. We covered. I think
comedy.
Whoever watches this podcast should be fully informed. Like, you know what? This is like some Joe Rogan ass podcast right here.
Very much so. Do you have? Yeah. Okay. So speaking of, follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, plug your stuff. Let people know where they can find you, all that stuff.
Yeah, Instagram is Ellen DeGenderless. That's the main thing. I also have a podcast, Politically Non-Binary. I guess those are the two main things. So that one's on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you want. You can follow me on YouTube, just Arielle Isaac Norman as well. I've started to post stuff on there. But I assume if you're on Instagram, that's the big thing, because everything I do, I'll also post there.
Right.
YouTube, I post. Actually, sometimes I do just post some things to YouTube, because it's like, if it's a little bit more conservative, I'll put it on YouTube. If it's more liberal, I put it on TikTok, Instagram.
I think conservative, they flag you more on YouTube than. I think you should be more liberal on YouTube, actually.
it's just in terms of the audience. I don't even know if conservative is exactly the right thing, but like I would say the more woke acceptable, Instagram and TikTok. More woke critical or whatever, YouTube, that seems to do better.
Really?
I mean, either way, I'm still gonna have a bunch of incels on YouTube going, I don't get it. Where's the joke? And it's like, well, you're embarrassing yourself if you don't get the joke because 5,000 other people got the joke.
Right.
So I know.
So does that piss you off when they say women are not funny?
I mean, there's one guy the other day because I have a silly little riff that I posted about Black Little Mermaid, which, was from last year, but I just found it the other day. And it was just like, I was like, people all would ask me about my opinion, like weirdly, just because my name's Arielle. And I'm like, that doesn't, okay. But, and I was like, I'm just happy. I just think it's cool that we'll have a Little Mermaid who can say the N-word. I think that's fun. And I just posted that. Just a silly.
That's hilarious.
Like,
Who's mad about that?
Well, this guy just, I don't do the joke. But one guy was like, oh, this is good because usually women are just posting crotch jokes. And I'm like, I don't know if he's trying to be funny because it's like men are known for their dick jokes. Like women aren't really known for pussy. Like maybe Amy Schumer, but like,
right.
I mean, I certainly have pussy jokes among my jokes, but like, is that a thing? But I was just like, I don't know. It's just YouTube is just kind of that dumb comment culture of just a bunch of loser men are going to feel the need to say something.
They have to say something. When you see them in person, they be like, "Oh, I'm just saying that just to get a reaction. I don't mean what I said."
Like the Kill Tony ones. If you ever see, like, I really believe that the people who comment on Kill Tony really think that Tony like reads it and that they're going to get discovered. Like that's the vibe. They're like, if I say something mean, yeah. Because when I
think about that Kill Tony, do you think Kill Tony's hurting or helping comedy?
Both. Some of the people he's elevated, really, it's great, and they wouldn't have gotten another chance like that otherwise, and they're funny and whatever. And other people he promotes are really shitty people, and sometimes comedically, sometimes as humans. But it gets a lot of people out to comedy, and I just hope that then then I try to lead them to find some other comedy besides just the stuff in the Kill Tony vortex. But I was on his panel once. And really had a wonderful time at the show. It was very fun. I think his show is very funny. Usually, it's a really good time. But the comments, people were commenting a lot of stuff, just like, "Look at this they them vegan," whichever. It's like, dude, I already have jokes about that. And they kept saying that I look like Theo Vaughn, which I was like, that's cool. Like it's just a lot of that.
Guy.
Yeah, I was like, that's tight. But like people were trying to be mean in the comments a lot, and I just like. They say not to read the comments, but I just didn't have any issue reading those comments because it was like they were trying to be mean about stuff that's not mean to me. And then also like you could just see it's just like these loser men who really just like want Tony's attention, And I'm like, he's not reading those, buddy. I'm only skimming these for a minute, but no one else. No, it's only just a circle jerk of the
I'm doing this for my self-esteem right now. Tony's not reading.
This is funny. I'm taking screenshots of the funniest stupid comments for my own, entertainment. But like other than that, and it's great because it helps, his numbers and everything. You want all these losers commenting, but no one's reading your comments, people.
That's funny. Yeah, but they take this shit serious. Like when I post some videos that go viral, when I do reaction videos, I could see people read it. It's always like, it's always guys talking shit, and it's just so funny because I'm like, keep talking shit because the more you
it's always people with 0 followers.
Yeah,
the like, most shit. Yeah, it's like okay,
like nobody knows who you are, you fucking ass. But that's how they get the attention by saying, "I'm going to try to shit on you." I think I did a video with I wish I could. Let me show you this video. It's so funny. I did a reaction video. Let's see if I can show you this video. It's so funny. I did a reaction video of Whitney, some white girl singing Whitney Houston song at a wedding in London.
Was it good or was it Adele?
I'll let you watch it first. I'll let you watch it, then you get my opinion on it. But yeah. So funny. All right, let's look up the video, mofo.
sounded amazing, but they were not trying to hear that. You got to sing a white song. That song's black as hell. You in London, England, you got to do some white people stuff. You got to do some Sweet Caroline, Oasis. They're like, and after all, you're my Wonderwall.
That's probably true. Your point is probably true that she should have done some white people shit. But at the same time, she did not sound amazing. She sounded amazing on some notes, but then she would lose it on other notes. She would go flat. And it's like, dude, if you're going to try a song like that, you have to 100% nail it.
I agree.
It's like doing a gymnastics or figure skating routine. It's like, that's a high level of difficulty. If you pull it off, awesome. But if you even kind of flub it, you fall on your ass. And there was the one note in there. It was.
I saw your face. I saw your face.
Yeah. If Simon Cowell saw her audition for the American Idol with that, he would have been like, no.
Okay.
Pick a song in your range.
Put it like this. For a white woman doing that song, I thought it was not bad.
Sure. It wasn't bad, but that's the thing. She just, you have to nail it. And so it's kind of embarrassing. Like, why would you can't try that unless you can actually do it. And it's kind of insulting to Whitney to be like, you think you can do that song? You think you're gonna nail all that? Like she could? Like Whitney was amazing. Like not that many people can do that.
You're right. Whitney was fucking, she was one of a kind, man. Her voice was so powerful. So freaking powerful. And on that note, we have to wrap the show. That is a wrap, Arielle. I love you so much.
Love you too.
I don't know. How did we even become close? Because I feel like we see each other around.
I just come to Houston fairly often.
Yeah, but we never like we were like two ships in a night. You know, we never really talked. So that's how we just met at Natsuo and just kind of clicked from there. And after I finished talking, I go, "Damn, she's cool as shit."
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, just like awesome.
That's how I am. You just got to get me one-on-one for a while.
just catch me one-on-one in the corner, like, talk to me, my friend.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I love it. Well, thank you. Love you. And,
thank you. Love you.
Peace.
Fun hanging out. Bye. Not that I have any idea how to turn this off.